The phrase must-win game gets thrown around a lot. Sometimes it applies, at other times it's perhaps a bit of an exaggeration. Certainly a loss today for either Wellington or Sydney FC wouldn't be terminal. In fact, both will finish the weekend in the top six, regardless of this result. But a win for either of these two this afternoon would certainly go a long way towards securing them finals football this season. Just 1 point and one place separate them on the A-League ladder. And with only 6 games left before the top 6 march on to the playoffs and the bottom 6 are jettisoned, 3 points today would be warmly welcomed by whoever can secure them. We're at Eden Park, one of the Phoenix's more familiar homes away from home. Wellington have never lost here. Sydney FC have never played here. Welcome to Auckland and to round 20 action in the Isuzu UTE A-League Men's as the Wellington Phoenix take on Sydney FC. Wellington Phoenix are unchanged after last weekend's 2-1 win over the Newcastle Jets. There was doubt over star striker Oscar Zavada, as wife Patricia is due with the couple's first child. That hasn't happened yet, so Zavada is here to lead the line today. Aided in attack by Jan Saas, Bojadir Krajev and David Ball. One enforced change for Sydney FC. Former Phoenix attacker Max Burgess is suspended after his red card in the Big Blue last weekend. Spaniard Diego Caballo pushes forward into that role, and Socceroo Joel King comes in for his first start of the season at left fullback. There are the respective benches. Former Sydney FC attacker Costa Barbarouses among the replacements available for the Wellington Phoenix, and there's a potential debut for Sydney FC teenager Matthew Scarcella. Callan Elliott broke his A-League men's goal-scoring duck last weekend, opening the scoring against the Jets. It's been somewhat of a breakout season for the club's first-choice right-back, rewarded this week with an all-whites call-up to face China later in the month. Ufuk Talay today takes charge of Wellington for the 100th time. He's overseen 41 wins, 23 draws and 35 losses. But Sydney FC, one of his least favourite opponents, just the one win in 8 previous meetings. That was the last match between these two in early January. Just a small delay, all in readiness now. We're underway at Eden Park. It's been a fortress for the Phoenix, who have never lost here in 9 previous matches on this patch of grass. First time though Sydney FC have played here, and they arrive on a nice little run, having won 4 of their last 6. Sydney FC, by contrast, Wellington's win over Newcastle last weekend, just a second victory in their last 6 matches. 47th time these two have locked horns in the A-League men's. The Sky Blues have the upper hand historically, 26 wins to Wellington's 14, 6 draws. And even on this side of the Tasman, the Phoenix have won just 7 of 22 meetings with Sydney FC. Bright sunshine in Auckland. A couple of sides with bright ambition as far as the A-League men's is concerned. And 3 points, a precious commodity for whoever can secure them this afternoon. Deep cross is out from Joel King. It might have been Caballo getting that one in. Woodton put under a bit of pressure and drills one out for Zavada to chase. James Donaghy touch tight with him.
I think that's where Zavada's so important, though. You know, if they can't build up, they can go long. There he's chased a pretty much lost cause and managed to get a throw-in out of it with 60 yards up the pitch all of a sudden. Throw-in, and now we've got a free kick from that.
Steven Ugarkovic, the man fouled. Luke Bratton just in a touch of discomfort, but jogging back into position. Good to see. Steven Ugarkovic, we know, is off at the end of this A-League season, so one and done as far as his Wellington Phoenix career is concerned. Ollie Sale, Clayton Lewis, the others confirmed in the last week to 10 days that will be leaving the club at the end of this campaign. Tim Payne, deep delivery. Zavada is there. It's Callan Elliott who gets it out from under his feet. And they got a goal last week, and by London Buses for Callan Elliott, he sensed goals in consecutive matches there.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. Probably feels he should have done better with the shot, actually. It was a little bit underneath him, but again, we look at that second phase ball. It's a great ball to the back post. Zavada's peeled off, header back across, and there's people waiting for that second phase.
Ball looking for Lolly. He cuts in, and it's Robert Mack against the post. Thunderous strike from the Slovak Robert Mack, cannoning back off the post. Really good effort from Sydney FC, and inches away from opening the scoring. They've still got it, and we'll pick up a free kick in a handy position, but Robert Mack has smacked that one against the post.
Absolutely fantastic wing play. There was nobody running into the box. I thought there's nothing on. He's managed to time the ball into Mack, and oh, what an excellent effort there. Yeah, Ollie Sow's beat all ends up. Gets lucky with a little bit of help from the post there.
5 goals for Robert Mack so far this season. He must have thought his half dozen was going to arrive. There was the foul on Joe Lolly, who also has 5 goals incidentally this season. Looks like it's going to be Rattray. Ollie Sale able to watch that one sail harmlessly by. In fact, it's Caballo. My apologies. Diego Caballo, the left-footed effort. Ryan Grant joins the attack. They'll try and go down the right-hand side, and a real battle going on there between Rattray and Moragas. Handshakes at the end of it.
Yeah, good defending again from Moragas. Gets himself between man and ball and is able to shield the ball out. But it has been a bit of an arm wrestle between them two, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes, because if Moragas can keep him quiet out there, I think it stops a lot of those balls into the box.
Once again, the long ball is easily dealt with by Sydney FC. Scott Wootton might think about a different approach this time.
I think it needs to be, you know, dropped into his feet, into Zavada's feet, or played over the top. At the moment, it's a bit of a lofty one.
That one's from Cryer to Zavada. He's a lone ranger at the moment. Thought about a shot from a narrow angle. Sass looks to be well looked after, so brings Elliott in. Wants the return past Sass, but Elliott elects to recycle, and they'll head out the other way, perhaps.
Yeah, there was not much on there for Elliott, so he's come back out there. Nice and patient here, but it's can they keep the ball now and try and penetrate?
He'll try now, Elliott. Sass is central. Out to Moragas. The crowd find their voice. Zavada! Oscar's got them pole dancing again. A dozen goals for Oscar Zavada. Baby on the way. He sets Wellington on the way. 1-0 to the home side.
Fantastic finish there from Zavada. We talked about it in the pre-game. It's exactly what we were talking about with the movement. He comes in on the back post, almost unnoticed. It's probably the first time the defender probably feels him is when he's leaning over him or towering over him. And, you know, with a guy with that sort of frame, it's only going to end up in the net.
Yeah, Joel King really, I'm sure, could feel Oscar Zavada's breath on the back of his neck. Jacob Spoonley, you had a good view of that one.
We did. Jason Pine down sideline had a wonderful view. Has stood up. Joel King got stuck underneath the ball, and Oscar Zavada, as he has done in the last 10 games, towered over Joel King and got himself a goal.
Here's Lolly across the 6-yard area. Mack not quite able to get on the end of it, but that Lolly and Mack combination with Caballo up top will always keep defenders, you know, on their toes.
Yeah, Lolly's super experienced player. He's been doing it for a long time at Forest in the Championship, so he'll be fine at this level. It's actually a really good ball in, and I think the first forward in should be going across the near. He's gone to the far post. I think if he goes across the near and allow the next player to fill in that space that he leaves, and then the next player fills in that space and so on. So that will be a little coaching point for Steve Corica's men in the week, I think, having a look at the crossing positions and the runs into the box.
Bratton. Lolly with a shot beaten away by Sale. Sydney are banging on the door and in possession again. Into the area, and now the header up and over. James Donaghy had stayed forward after the corner, couldn't find its mark at the header that time.
Yeah, Lolly's starting to really get into his rhythm here. It's a great ball out from Bratton, picks him out. he always wants to cut inside on that left foot. Decent strike and a good save. The cross a few seconds on from this with the outside of his left foot was fantastic, actually, and Donaghy couldn't quite get his head on it. Good defending from the Phoenix there.
Breaks down in the front third, and Jan Sasu doesn't do a heck of a lot of defending either. Found himself having to that time and draws the foul from Caceres.
Again, good play from the Phoenix. Happy to allow Sydney to have the ball sort of in and around that final third, but force the ball outside. If Sass can actually take his first touch forward there, David Ball made a great run in behind, and that's where they can be caught.
Ollie Sale, one of 6 Wellington Phoenix squad members playing in his hometown. He's an Aucklander, born and bred. Tim Payne, who's out there also, is an Auckland boy. Always enjoys coming to this part of the country to play football in front of his friends and family. Tim Payne. Elliott does well to get out of a tight situation. Kraev. It's found its way through to Ball. And a corner off the shins of Wilkinson. Not sure that was actually meant for David Ball, but it turned out okay.
Yeah, no, it was nice play again from the Phoenix. Happy to play the ball in and around the box. It's a good ball. I think it was for Sass, but it ends up at Ball's feet, and probably the only thing I would say is not enough runners in the box there. And again, let's get somebody across that near post, which is where you're going to sort of create havoc.
Jan Sass going to look to bend this one in left-footed. Wellington have committed a number of players forward. Sass towards the near post, and off the line. They header from Ball, off the line by Caceres. Back out to Sass. Delivers again, and this header is over from Zavada. But David Ball to the near post and just about caught Sydney napping.
Yeah, nice bit of movement from David Ball. He started just in front of the defender, 2 or 3 steps in front, managed to get the header off, and it was on target, to be fair. It would have been going in. Great clearance. And then the second ball in from Sass, another great delivery. Zavada just couldn't get himself over the ball.
And Jan Sass again. Is he going to make room for the shot? He has! Tipped wide by Redmayne. We've seen Sass score from similar positions. Andrew Redmayne tipping it wide.
Yeah, Sass just seems to go from strength to strength. You know, really tough start to the season, but he's got a lot of quality. That's a great strike, and on its way, it's a fantastic save actually from Redmayne there.
Into what will be a minimum of just 1 minute of added time at the end of this first half at Eden Park. Maybe time for Sydney FC to mount one final attack in this first half. Caballo, Caceres. King has joined the attack too. And there is Joel King just about getting there. Falls, tracking across the area to Robert Mack, brings Lolly in. Outside of the foot. Wellington just scrambling at the moment to get it away, and they have done. And that'll be the last action of the first half here at Eden Park. Oscar Zavada, almost inevitably, is the man who has Wellington into the lead. His 21st minute header is the game's only goal. Half-time here at Eden Park. The Wellington Phoenix 1, Sydney FC 0. Ollie Sale knows that if he keeps a clean sheet, it's 3 points coming the way of Wellington. They'd be so precious, with the table being as tight as it is. Would open up a little gap between 5th and 6th. Adelaide and the Mariners winning already this weekend. Perth Glory as well. Chris Beath gets us underway in the second half. The Sky Blues kick off, kicking from left to right on your screen. And in their navy blue today, the Wellington Phoenix defending a 1-0 lead, heading back towards the left of your screen. This is Eden Park, New Zealand's national stadium, and the 10th occasion upon which Wellington have brought a home game to this venue. 5th season in a row they've been here, and there's one more to come this season as well. Round 24 in mid-April against the Brisbane Roar. We'll be back here at Eden Park. No changes for either side as we start the second half. Look on the bench for Sydney FC, and maybe Patrick Wood might be somebody who Steve Corica would consider as a point of difference in attack at some point, I think.
Yeah, I think you can get him down the middle. He makes good runs in behind. It's not bad hold-up play, knows where the goal is. So I think for the attacking options, he's probably the best one. Obviously, you've got Jack Rodwell. We know his quality. It would suggest he's not quite fit enough at the moment if he's not starting.
Yeah, it's been such a shame that Jack Rodwell's involvement this season has been so limited by injury. Lolly, he was so good in the first half. Involved in the second. Far post ball. It's on the edge for Rattray. Just didn't get the contact. He did the first, but really nicely bringing it down. But Paulo Rattray couldn't get the right contact on the shot.
Yeah, good play again down this right-hand side from Lolly. It's a nice little 1-2. I think that's Ryan Grant again in the box. He really wants to get Sydney back into this game. It was a nice little chest and unlucky with the strike. Just took his eye off the ball, I think, at the last minute.
Rattray. Now Mack. Bratton again. Caceres. Lovely ball out towards Joel King. Across the 6-yard area, any touch would have done. Joel King, the Socceroos left back. Almost turning provider. Joe Lolly not able to apply the finishing touch.
Great play there by Sydney. Started with Ryan Grant back in the right back spot. Get him back in there. I think he got a ball in the face just earlier on. Comes back 60-70 metres to deal with the attack. Starts it. Great play and a fantastic ball across by King. It just needed a touch and it would have been 1-1.
Drives forward into a pocket of space. Lifts it in towards Zavada! Well, you can imagine with Oscar Zavada in a position like that the net would bulge again, but no.
Great opportunity from the Phoenix there. Again, really patient. Ended up with probably 15 passes and a great ball into the box, and Zavada, you'd back him from there normally.
Anthony Caceres was rather unceremoniously dumped to the ground there by a couple of players, Moragas and Barbarouses. He thought he was fouled, but the assistant referee, Mark Rowland, was near side, was all over it. Here's Sass. Bit of Brazilian flair, and unfortunately not a pass to match. Now it's Sydney through Mack. Robert Mack in the area, goes down. Chris Beath was having a look at it. Chris Griffiths-Jones is the VAR. He may well apply further scrutiny too.
I think they'll have a look at that one for sure. My first thought was penalty. Don't know if there's enough contact. Maybe he was looking for it. Well played by Mack to draw the challenge, but Beath didn't think there was enough contact.
Sideline boys just look like Tim Payne steps across, and for me there's enough contact there for a penalty.
Zavada's very deep with this one and runs up towards halfway, runs straight into James Donaghy. Sydney FC pressing hard for an equaliser. Caceres. Bratton. Lolly. Rattray. Patient from Sydney. The header wide from Caceres.
I think the Phoenix are okay defending balls in from there. They're nice and compact in the middle. They're forcing the ball to the outside. Crosses from there, I don't think they're going to trouble them too much. Ollie Sale, we're going to talk the defenders through that. There's nobody, I think, who's capable of scoring a Zavada-like header.
And to the final 15 minutes of regulation time here. Sydney continue to press. Laws is into the action to add some stability at the back. Lolly that time getting the ball out from under his feet, but not quite finding the target.
I think if Sydney don't get something from this game, I think the likes of Ryan Grant and Joe Lolly will be, bitterly disappointed. I think those two in particular have been excellent this afternoon.
Josh Law's getting his first couple of touches of the football. So certainly a back three now for Wellington, with fullbacks Elliott and Moragas making it a back five out of possession, which they are now just about when Luke Bratton gets it off Callan Elliott.
With this back three now, they should be able to play round Sydney, get it into the wing backs, and then can from there they find a pass inside, potentially to Zavada to set somebody underneath and sort of build a platform.
Ryan Grant has come across and collected Lucas Moragas and will pick up a yellow card. Not a difficult one for Chris Beath to adjudicate on that.
Yeah, I don't think that will need to go to VAR. Yeah, I mean, Grant's been excellent all day, but I don't think he fancied a race there.
Sale just soaking up every second he can. "70 seconds to go, plus a minimum of what we're told will be 4 extra minutes. Here comes Sydney again into the penalty area. Chalk up another entry into there, given away by Barbarouses, but one back by Barbarouses.
Again, it was Josh Laws with the clearance. So many clearances he's made since he's been on.
Here's Grant again. Once again, the delivery's good. Good header on the far side there by Callan Elliott. Still there for Sydney. Shot up and over by Jaden Kucharski. Looking for his first A-League men's goal.
Yeah, I like Kucharski. He looked very sharp. It's a really, really sharp turn, this. Everybody in the ground thinks he's going to get the shot off. Probably just couldn't get it out of his feet in time to get the shot where he wanted. Hard and low there, gives him a chance.
Can't get the connection on the turn, Jack Rodwell.
Decent ball to the back post, second phase ball. Rodwell tries to bring it under. Always going to be difficult on the turn. Bouncing ball. Went for the half volley. Couldn't really get control of it.
Sydney have got themselves into dangerous areas in the second half, and they've had a lot of territory, as the stats will show. Unfortunately, they just haven't had that bit of quality. The movement, the delivery, it's been off slightly. That calibration hasn't been there. And the difference for me between the two sides today is Oscar Zavada.
The Garden of Eden is a happy hunting ground again for Wellington Phoenix. In Ufuk Tale's 100th match in charge, the Phoenix chalk up the 150th win in their history, and one of the most important. Oscar Zavada on baby watch, but also on goal-scoring duty. His header earns Wellington a precious 3 points. The Phoenix 1, Sydney FC 0.